CQ, calling the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Calling the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. The coffee is ready. I repeat, the coffee is ready. All stations, please stand by. Welcome to the 53rd edition of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. We gather here every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. local on the 442.2 KE4CCB repeater that is located in Tennessee on top of Holston Mountain using a PL tone of 100 mark 0 hertz. My name is JJ. The call here is N9TN, and I'm located in Boring, Tennessee, and I'll be your net control and barista for this session of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. The Sunday Morning Coffee Net is not affiliated with any clubs or organizations, but to be a neutral source of information for the amateur radio community. The purpose of the net is to discuss ham radio, exchange ideas, and of course drink a boatload of coffee. If during the net there is an emergency, please indicate so with a break, and I will take your call. For more information about the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please visit our website and consider joining our email list. Our newsletter is sent out every Saturday around dinner time, providing early access to the questions ahead of time. The net URL is cqtn.org/coffee. Again, that's cqtn.org/coffee. That's Charlie, Quebec, Tango, November, and .org/coffee. Before I take any check-ins, is there anyone with news or announcements for the net? Anybody with news or announcements, please call N9TN. Is there any stations with news or announcements? Any news or announcements, please call N9TN. Right, nothing heard. This Thursday, for the Thursday Night Coffee After Brew, we will not be having a net. We have a net control scheduling issue. We don't have anybody to call the net on the first Thursdays of the month. So if anybody is interested, please let me know. We'll get you in rotation to call the Thursday Night Coffee After Brew. All right. So we will not be anywhere this Thursday. The Sunday Morning Coffee Net Eyeball QSO Breakfast is at 8 a.m. Saturday, January 11th, at the Bondo Burger in Blountville. The address for that is 3500 Highway 126, Blountville, Tennessee. That's the Bondo Burger. If you have never eaten there, you need to try it. I've never had their breakfast, but their lunch and dinner is great. All right, let's see what else we have here. That is all that I'm thinking of. All right, the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, I'm taking check-ins from in-and-out stations. In-and-out stations only. Those that don't wish to be called back during the net, please give your call sign slowly and phonetically and announce your name and location. This is N9TN, Net Control. All right, any in or out stations, in-and-out stations only, please call N9TN.
In-and-out K4CCB.
All right, Todd, I got you. K4CCB. Any other in-and-outs? In-and-out stations only? Those are those that don't want to participate in the net this morning. Please call N9TN, your net control and barista for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Okie dokie, we had a blast for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net first year anniversary trivia extravaganza. That was last night on this repeater at 7 p.m. We had several rounds of trivia, and it actually went a whole lot better than I thought it would. I thought it would be a complete disaster, but it did very, very well, and we've had a few requests to do it again, so we might have to do that again in the future. I will be announcing the winner here in just a few minutes. And the winner gets a $10 gift card from Dunkin' Donuts, and that is from the Sunday Morning Coffee Net and Thursday Night Coffee After Brew Net Control and Barista team. So cup of coffee on us, guys. Will be the winner of the trivia from last night. All right, we'll take regular check-ins. This is a participation-based net with the following format. You'll be asked a series of questions, 3 questions that include the net with the additional comments, and this will include your 7-3. But if during any time during the net you need a refill on your cup of coffee, please inform Net Control. We'll get you took care of there. All right, taking regular check-ins. This is N9TN, Boring, Tennessee. Go ahead.
Net Control, please check Kilo, no, that's 4, Mike Victor Hotel, Larry in Greene County.
All right, Larry, I have you, KN4MVH. There was somebody underneath of you. They may have been 2 somebodies underneath of you, but I only got you.
WE4AWJ, Emmett in Bristol, Virginia.
All right, Emmett, I have you, WE4AWJ. Welcome to the 53rd edition of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Any others wishing to check in this morning, please call.
November 4, Tango Lima Bravo, Les in Johnson City.
All right, Les, I have you. Any others wishing to check into the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call.
Kilo India 4, Alpha Mike Delta, Mac in Friendship.
Kilo Delta 4, Whiskey Mike X-Ray, Cannon Quiet Lodi.
E4NT, Dwayne in Bristol.
Again, Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Victor Charlie, Marcus in Johnson City, KO4EVC. Net Control, please check in. Kilo Zulu 4, India Tango. Richard over here in Elizabethton.
All right, N4TLB, got you, Les. KI4AMD, the Pastry King. KD4WMX, good morning, Ken. Dwayne, KD4NT, KO4EBC, good morning, Marcus. And Richard, good morning, my friend, long time no hear, KZ4IT. Any others wishing to check into the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call N9TN. All right, before we take any more check-ins and get on with the net, I will like to go through the winner of the trivia night last night for the first anniversary of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. We had a boatload of questions. We had fun, and the trigger finger on my left hand is very, very sore from holding the mic, and I've got a desk mic in my cart, so this will never happen again after this. Oh, it is very sore. Anyway, the winner and the second place are very close. The winner had 14 ticks. That's 14 answers correct. And second place was 10. So 14 got it, and that was Dwayne. KD4NT. Dwayne, you're the winner of the first celebration of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, and for trivia night, and you won our $10 gift card. I will get that to you at the club meeting, hopefully. My plan is to go, but things can change. So since you're the winner of the trivia night, we require a speech, so I am going to turn it over to you. KD4NT and N9TN.
Good morning there, JJ and everybody. Well, I didn't didn't expect that, but, well, I guess I won. Don't really know what to say other than thanks. I appreciate it. It's KD4NT.
All right. My wife was very proud of me because I haven't done rapid fire questions like that since my days of politics. And she says I still got it, so. Oh, goodness. Anyway, I used to do rapid questions for politics, for stuff like that, for discussion and political debates and things. But I still have it. All right. I'll take a pause right there to see if there's anybody else wishing to check in. This is the 53rd edition of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, last one of the year. And this is the day that we started the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. So the questions for the net are, well, the first question is the first question that we had for this year, for our first net. So we'll get into that here in just a minute. Let me see if there's anybody else wishing to check in. Please give your call sign phonetically and announce your name and location. This is M9TN. Anybody else wishing to check into the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call. The questions for the net are as follows. Number one, what has been your favorite net on HF, VHF, or UHF, or elsewhere? What has been your favorite net? Let's just mark that as 2024. What has been your favorite net this past year on any of the ham radio bands? Question number two, what additional features do you wish the Sunday Morning Coffee Net had that it currently lacks? What do you want to see on the Sunday Morning Coffee Net next year? And question number three, what's for breakfast? What are we eating this morning? Those are the hard questions for the net this morning. Go ahead, Larry. You're first on my net. KN4MBH and 9TN.
Well, good morning, N9TN, JJ, and the Coffee Net. I guess my favorite net has been one that I've been participating in since I became an extra, and it's the Early Bird Transcontinental Net. And they operate from 4:45 in the morning until 6 a.m. every day of the year. And I guess it's a pretty good group of people. They're from around the country, so you can hear people from Texas to Maine. And they're actually going to have a get-together at Hamfest in Virginia, West Virginia here in the 1st of March. So I might be going to that. We will see. What the Coffee Net is lacking, I haven't really thought much about that yet. So I'm going to have to pass on that one. I can't really add anything to that one at this point. And for breakfast this morning, I might grab some toast and some cheese, or some toast and maybe a yogurt. So this is KN4MBH. Back to the Coffee Net.
All right, very good. Very, very good. All right. Well, hey, that sounds like fun. That is one net that I don't think I've ever participated in. I was very careful on HF nets. I had to study them a while before I could become part of them because I didn't want to be part of a QSL card exchange net or nets that I didn't believe in or trust or whatever like that. Get myself in trouble, if you know what I mean. All right, WE4AWJ. Emmett, good morning to you. What are your answers for the questions this morning? This is N9TN.
Well, good morning, y'all. Good morning, JJ. Good to be back. It's just been one thing after another, and oversleeping and sickness and everything that kept me away from the net. And I'm glad I remembered it this morning. And, well, number one, my favorite HF net was a 247 net, which I didn't participate in as much this year as I have been. It's on in the afternoon, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's just kind of a DX net. And but I enjoy this from VHF. I really do. I think you've done a good job with it. And then as far as what we need to do to improve it, I think a comedy corner with Ken. Comedy corner with Ken would do real good if he wants to do it. And I don't know. I have not even thought about breakfast this morning, but I'll find something, I guess. I eat too much during the holidays. Okay, that's it for me. And back to net control. This is WE4AWJ.
Alrighty. Well, that sounds wonderful, Emmett, and we did miss you. And I hate that you were sick and things, but it is one of those things. I had an ear infection for about a week, and it's finally getting better. I'm gonna try to slip my hearing aid in that ear this morning just to see if I could take it, because I'd love to be able to wear it tomorrow. It's hard not to hear. But anyway, it's still a little sore, but I think I might be able to get something in it, maybe. Who knows? We'll find out. I'm going to give it a whirl today. I should have tried it for the net. That way I can hear you guys. And for TLB, Les, good morning to you, my friend. What has been your favorite net for 2024 on HF, VHF, or UHF, or elsewhere? And when I mean elsewhere, that is like SHF or any of the other weird bands out there. And question number 2, what additional features would you like to see on the Sunday Morning Coffee Net that we currently do not have? And I think Ken stand-up comedy is a good feature. We may have to suggest that. Anyway, go ahead, Les, and 9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
This is November 4, Tango Lima Bravo, Les in Johnson City. Morning to everybody on the net. Answer the first question. I'm a pretty big fan of the Lunch Munch net that runs Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock through 2 or 3. I check into that every day on my lunch hour, so then I go back and listen to it the rest of the time on a headset. But that's the one I favor most, I do believe. The answer to the second question, tried to think about what would be an improvement. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about that one as well. And what's for breakfast? Probably dish of cereal, possibly, maybe. So I'll give it back to you, JJ.
All right. Well, I'm not afraid to get destructive criticism, guys. Don't be afraid to tell me what you'd like on the net or what you don't like. I'm here for you guys. I have a blast calling it. And I'll go ahead and answer the first question. I'm a little biased. The Sunday Morning Coffee Net is probably my favorite. And the sister net to this one, which is called the 220 net the 220 net on 220 at 220, and it'd be 320 our time. But it is the 220 megahertz guys and gals net, and it's almost the sister net to this one. It's almost exactly the same format, and the net control, Steve, he is the man. So that'll be on later tonight at 3:20. If you've got All-Star, I suggest that you check it out. It's a fun net. It's just like this one. But the net controller is a whole lot better. Anyway, we got a lot of the ideas for this net from him. And I've been part of that group for a long time. So it's out of Chicago, Illinois. All right. Let me take a pause right here, see if there's anybody else wishing to check into the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. This is the 53rd edition, the last one for the year. And we'll start 2025 with in with the old and out with the new, or whatever they call it. Check-ins now, N9TN. well, next time I will not keep up everybody so late. I knew that would be a problem. Mac, your turn. KI4AMD and 910.
N910 and the net from KI4AMD. Gosh, my favorite net on HF, VHF, UHF, or elsewhere. Well, I do really enjoy this net, JJ, so it definitely ranks up at the top of the list, but I kind of read that question as what is my favorite net other than this one, because otherwise what use would it be? I really enjoy the once monthly Thursday night simplex net that's held on 146.535 megahertz. I just think it's a lot of fun to see what you can do on simplex. That said, you'd think I'd really enjoy the HF nets, where you do quite a bit on simplex, but every time I've gotten involved with one of those HF nets, it ends up that they go on for hours. I mean, look at the one that I think Emmett mentioned, that transcontinental early bird net from 4:45 to 6 a.m. I don't have that kind of time. I need to be sleeping a little bit. Let's see. Let me drop this for a minute and come back. So, additional features I wish the Sunday morning coffee net had. I really enjoy the format of this net and the features it does have, and I don't really know how you'd wedge in more features without taking up more time. Again, the time on the HF nets has been a problem for me, and this net used to run long for me when our church was meeting in its regular building and had an 8:30 church service. Sometimes the net goes past 8 o'clock, and by then I'm on my way to church and have to miss the end of it. Lately, that's not been a problem with the church meeting at Damascus Middle School. We can easily fit the entire congregation in the gymnasium for a single service, and of course we do that at the more popular time of 11 o'clock a.m., not the 8:30 a.m. time that my wife and I prefer. What's for breakfast? Well, I was listening to Emmett and I was thinking the same thing he was. I hadn't really thought about breakfast, of course, for different reasons. I hadn't thought about breakfast because I know what it's going to be. I'm going to have a great value toaster pastry, probably the strawberry one left over from the packet after I give one to my 6-year-old, and a nice tall cold glass of milk. I guess that's all I got for you, JJ. I'll turn it back over to you. Thanks for running the net today. N910, KI4AMD.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much, Mac, and that simplex net, and I'm going to let you come back and explain it to people here on the net. You may like it. Simplex nets are great. Number one, we see the reach of our equipment, which is a great thing. And number two is in case the power goes out on the mountains, and it has happened. We've seen it, with a Hurricane Helene coming through. We may need to rely on simplex and rely on relay stations, and that's exactly what they do. So I'm going to get Mac to come back and tell us what frequency they're on and what time it is, and I think it interferes with the Thursday night coffee after brew, but hey, I've been known to juggle 3 or 4 nets at the same time. Anyway, go ahead, Mac. Tell us about the simplex net and who puts it on. N910.
All right, the Thursday night simplex net, I believe it is the 4th Thursday of every month. So once a month on the 4th Thursday, whichever date that falls on. It meets at 8 o'clock p.m. It meets at 8 o'clock p.m. and the frequency is 146.535 megahertz. It's about 15 kilocycles above the simplex calling frequency on 2 meters. So it's just the next simplex channel on 2 meters above the calling frequency, 146.535. Yeah, it's really neat to see what you can do with simplex and to see what you can't do, and kind of get everybody involved in the net doing relays and whatnot. That's all kind of works out nice. We've had check-ins from North Carolina and Buchanan County, Virginia, east about as far as Marion, and west out to I think Johnson City or Kingsport has attempted to check in before. And the way we work at any station or just about every station that checks in has the opportunity to call for relay check-ins. So there's no theoretical limit to how far the net can reach. It just peters out when we run out of those people checking in through the relays. But yeah, that's the Thursday night net, and it's I don't think it's officially sanctioned by any particular club. A lot of Mears folks participate in it, and I guess most of the net control comes out of the Mears roster. But it's a little bit like this one. It's not necessarily affiliated with any club. All right, N910, KI4AMD.
All right, Mac, we appreciate you and thank you for the information. Number one, this net, we went over it last night, but this net is for information. So if you have any news announcements, news like that, information about amateur radio, Hamfest, silent keys in the area, things like that of that nature. Number one, we're by far the informational net. We want to get all that information out there. That way we can reach as many hams as we possibly can over the air. I know we have YouTube, we have email, we have internet, we have everything like that. But man, this stuff needs to go over what it was intended to go over, and that is the radio. So that is why we do this, and then we have a little bit of fun adding the questions and getting to know one another and things like that. All right, this is the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. I'm going to take a pause right there and see if there's anybody else wishing to check in. Please give me your call sign using phonetics, announce your name and location. This is the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Please call N910.
And this is K04GQQ checking in.
Right, K04GQQ, we have you. Any others wishing to check into the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call. Going back up to the questions, and next on my list is Ken's Economy Corner, KD4WMX N910. Go ahead.
Well, good morning, JJ. And 9 Turtle Snapping the Belson net. And of course, I like this net, except I can get out better. But I set an alarm, so I do. But I just like checking nets to make sure my radio is working. But I'm like Mac, I really like the Simplex net. Just to see how far I can reach out, touch somebody. But and anything to change the coffee net, I think coffee net's just perfect. I don't think it needs anything. But I'm not net control, so I don't think about it. And I don't want to be. For breakfast, it's the usual. Bacon, eggs, and toast, unless Lyle wants some pancakes. So I will turn it back to 99 Turtles Napping.
This is 99 Turtles Napping N910, Boring, Tennessee, with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Well, thank you, Ken, for your awesome answers there. And thank you for checking into this 53rd edition of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. All right, KD4NT. Dwayne is the winner of the $10 gift card from Dunkin' Donuts for the first anniversary of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net Trivia Extravaganza that we had last night. And so, Ken, what are your answers this morning? This is N910 with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
Morning again. This is KD4NT. Well, for topic number 1, what has been your favorite net on HF, VHF, UHF? I have to say the coffee net. I really thoroughly enjoy this, and getting up in the morning and having something to do on Sunday morning. Really enjoy it. What additional features do you wish to see on the coffee net? I don't know. I think you've got it all, JJ. I can't think of anything else you could do to make it any better, but who knows? There might be something out there. And what's for breakfast? Well, biscuits and gravy. Always. Back to Ned, KD4NT.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. Biscuits and gravy, bacon, eggs, pancakes. Oh, boy. I had a Dunkin' Donuts donut. My wife brought in some the other day, and I ate the rest of those. KO4EVC. Marcus, what about you, my friend? N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
Good morning, JJ. Good morning, everyone on the net. This is KO4 Echo Victor Charlie over here at Boones Creek, watching it drizzle, and the sun's trying to pop up, but on the radar it kind of looks a little messy, for a little bit anyway. I think my favorite net's the coffee net. I've enjoyed, like Ken, I like waking up and having something to do. It's helped me progress as a ham. I've checked in, try to make every one of them, but I look forward to it, I guess is what I'm saying. Question number 2, what features? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Maybe we try to help everything we can, try to spread the info. I liked that trivia last night. That's the first time I did that. That was fun. So maybe some trivia, or maybe a different mode or something. Anyway, I'll probably have an egg sandwich for breakfast, and I'll give it back to you, JJ, KO4EVC.
Right, well, I can't help you with a different mode. I don't have anything else. I have DMR, but that's on a HT, and it is hard for me to call an net on HT. But we've had people. Well, let's just say we've had roundtables. After this net, we would go to DMR and talk a while. We hadn't had much response off that, so I don't know if it'd work out to have a full-fledged trivia net or something over there. All right, Richard, you're next on my list. Do you need the questions, my friend, or do you have those? This is N9TN.
Good morning, JJ, and good morning, everybody on the net. No, I'm all right. I got to memorize what everybody was saying, but I appreciate that. As far as favorite nets, I'd have to say it'd probably be the one that got me started out in ham radio, and that would be the Son in the Hood, old Roger on the Dixie Traders net. Him and Jerry, just something about how they do it, and they get you laughing, and listening to all the cool ham gear coming across the net and stuff like that. And I just think that's a real good net. I hadn't got to come on the morning coffee net so many times, but my New Year's resolution is to try not to miss one next year. Try to hit all 53. So I caught the last one of this year, and I'm planning on knocking them all out next year. But as far as things to change, like I said, I hadn't made that many nets, so I don't think I could think of anything at the moment. So I'll just leave that up to you. If you got any good ideas, why, I'll just grab a hold of the car and ride with you. And as of what's for breakfast, for me, I'm just having some Doritos and a Budweiser.
Holy cow. Oh, my goodness. I couldn't imagine having a Budweiser first thing in the morning. I guess that's a good substitute for coffee if you're not a coffee drinker. All right, KO4GQQ, and I'm going to take a wild guess, and this is just me guessing. I haven't talked to you in a very long time, so I'm going to say your name is David. but correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm about 90% sure that I'm wrong. So, do you need the questions, my friend, or do you have those? N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
Oh, N9TN K04GQQ. Well, that's pretty impressive. I mean, can't you just cheat and look that up on QRZ or something? But yeah, it's David out of Bristol, near Still Creek. I don't know. It's been one of those mornings. I might not remember the order of the questions. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll do it, and I'll do it backwards. At least as far as like suggestions for your net. No, I don't really have anything. This is a fun little morning thing going on here with you guys. As far as picking a favorite net, I don't know. Kind of hard. The thing kind of came up to my mind first, although I do have a comment about Roger and those nets because those are great as well, is the E-Cars 7255, I think it is, on 40 meters. That was like the first net I discovered when I got my HF ticket when I upgraded to General a few years ago. And that was probably the first group I got in with and kind of regularly checked in. And I still pretty bad about it. Let me let the repeater drop a second. So yeah, I don't check in like I used to. Now, lunch, as far as like the lunch bunch and the Traders net, those are amazing. But I tell you what, I'm just gonna, and I want to pose this as a question to anyone who wants to chime in, especially those who listed, those specific nets as their favorites, because I do really enjoy everything about them, the vibe and everything. Except there's one thing about them that drives me insane, and let me explain why, and let me qualify this, because I'll have to admit I'm somewhat biased about this because I got my original ticket when I was living in the Mid-Atlantic up near the D.C. Beltway in Maryland, and there's a powerhouse 2-meter repeater up there that just reaches and is always active. I mean, 3 a.m. in the morning, you have people to talk to if you want. Long story short, the repeater just operators in that area are very incredibly particular about radio discipline on their machines, apparently, because I'll be honest with you, it was drilled into my head in a way that's why at least those nets in particular, even though I enjoy them, the Lunch Bunch and the Dixie Traders net, the big thing about them that drives me crazy is, at least that I can tell, that are on those, I mean, it seems like the further east you go on our repeaters, it's not as bad. But what's up with the race with hams to jump back in on that darn repeater and be the next one? That drives me insane. I was trained that you let the repeater drop for a complete full second before you attempt to key up. And in fact, you guys see me do it. I was taught to key up briefly and just quickly announce, who you're calling to, and then let it drop just to see if you're not doubling with someone. Then continue transmission. That's why I always key up and first say either the call sign or net control, then I let the repeater drop, and then I come in with my actual check-in. So, I don't know. That drives me crazy because of my personal bias of growing up as a relatively new hand 20, 30 years ago in that environment, in that area, having that drilled into my skull. What do you guys think about that one? I'm just kind of curious. KO4GQQ.
KO4EBC.
Oh, son, it's getting deep in here. Yeah, I'm with you, but there's a reason for that. When you get into link systems, you're going to have people go crazy. And Kevin has long squelch tails on his repeaters, and I think they're all different. So if you check in on the Crossville repeater and unkey, the Greenville repeater will probably still be keyed up when somebody else keys up. So we have that problem too. And of course, if you're on All-Star, you have to wait until your All-Star node drops out completely before you can even key up anyway. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors involved with that. And I'm one of those. I wait. I count 3 Massachusetts because Mississippi's overrated. So I count to 3 usually before I even key up. Number 1, it gives the repeater time to relax a second. And number 2, if somebody has to get in, they can. So that goes along with the repeater etiquette and the amateur radio etiquette that you learned from your Elmer that we do not have anymore because nobody wants to Elmer anymore. Oh yeah, son, it's getting deep in here. All right, anyway, that brings me down to the bottom of the list here on the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Let me see if there's anybody else wishing to check in. Please give your call sign using phonetics. Announce your name and location. This is N9TN, Net Control.
Net Control, this is Kilo Oscar 4, Romeo Uniform Yankee, Todd at Jonesboro.
All right, Todd, give me your first two letters again. Somebody keyed with you.
That's N4DTB, David of Bluff City. This is Kilo Oscar 4, Romeo Uniform Yankee, Todd at Jonesboro.
All right, Todd, I got you that time, and David, I got you. Any others wishing to check into the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call N9TN. All right. Well, that's going to be the topic of discussion on the next time that I do the Thursday Night Coffee After Brew. Repeater amateur radio etiquette. And that'll be fun. And that's coming up. I think it's the 16th when I call the net. I don't have my document up, so that will be my topic on the after brew when I call it. All right. I like those deep conversations, if you can't tell. Anybody else wishing to check in? Anybody else wishing to check into the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? This is N9TN. Nothing heard. Todd, do you need the questions, or are you okay? KO4RUY, N9TN.
Yeah, I need the questions. I'm not sure how to get them, but should I email you? How do you get them?
Okay. I'm going to tell you what they are for this net, but you could join our email list, and that is how you get the questions early. I send them out usually on Saturday evenings about dinner time. That way you can have time to think about them. And that's the only way that you know about what the coffee after brew is on Thursday nights as well. So the Thursday night coffee after brew and the questions come in the email newsletter. And are you ready to copy? Because I'm getting ready to spout out the URL.
Yes, just send me the URL or the, yeah, that'll be great.
Okay. Is your email good on QRZ? I can send it via an email if you'd like to do that.
Yeah, my email should be good.
All right, perfect. Question number one for today. What has been your favorite net on HF, VHF, UHF, or elsewhere for 2024? What has been your favorite net this year? N9TN, back to you.
Right now, this is Kilo Oscar 4, Romeo Uniform Yankee. Right now, I don't have one. One of the things I was looking at was some kind of Kansas City group as a DMR. Comes in real clear, but I don't really have a favorite net.
All right, so question number two probably is not going to help you. What additional features do you wish the Sunday Morning Coffee Net had that it currently lacks? What do you want to see here on the Coffee Net that you would like to have, but it does not have at the current?
I have no comment on that. I was woken up by a bear this morning, so that's why I'm here.
Holy cow, Batman. Don't let them things wake you up. And question number three, I hope I get an answer. What are we having for breakfast this morning?
I only had coffee. I haven't had breakfast. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate you for checking in, and I'll get that email out as soon as I can and tell you more about the net here. And for DTB, good morning, my friend. You're next, N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
Kilo Oscar 4, Romeo Uniform Yankee. I just want to interject here. There's a bad weather report for Tennessee and North Carolina and South Carolina. You may want to check your weather report.
All right. Well, thank you, Todd, for the update. We appreciate that. And for DTB, David, you're next. This is N9TN with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
Well, let's see if I have it now. N4DTB. And
My favorite net has been the Sunday morning coffee net and the Thursday night after brew. I wouldn't change anything on the Sunday morning coffee net. You have a wonderful format, and I don't know what I'm going to have for breakfast. Back to you, JJ.
All righty. Well, thank you, David. That brings us down to the bottom of the list. Don't forget about the Sunday morning coffee net eyeball QSO breakfast coming up Saturday, January the 11th at 8 o'clock a.m. at the Bondo Burger in Blountville, Tennessee. That's at 3500 Highway 126 in Blountville. That'll be the Sunday morning coffee net eyeball QSO breakfast. Just to get together and meet each other and have a blast yapping. So it's nothing formal. We're just going to have a good time eating and playing eyeball QSO. Also remember, guys, that there will not be a Thursday night coffee after brew this week. We're having a scheduling conflict because all the net controllers are going to end up we're going to go to the Bristol Club meeting, so we need somebody to fill in. If you're interested, get a hold of N4DTB or myself, and we'll get you on the schedule for the first Thursdays of the month. That way we'll have somebody to cover the after brew while we can't do it. All right. And my email good on QRZ. David's is as well. All right. Let's see. I think that's all the housekeeping I got to do. Just for everybody's information, we had 17 check-ins last night for the trivia night. 17 check-ins. Wow. We had a blast. That was fun. My thumb really hurts from holding the microphone and squeezing the trigger. It'll probably take a few days to get over. Anyway. Before we go into our 7-3 additional comment round, let me see if there's anybody else wishing to check in. Any other check-ins for the Sunday morning coffee net, please call. All right, Larry. Do you have anything else for the Sunday morning coffee net? KN4MVH, 7-3 to you, my friend.
73 to you. Just kind of report on the weather here. We've had a half an inch of rain in the last 15 minutes, and wind is gusting up to about 25 miles an hour, so I guess the storm front's coming through right now here. So everybody be safe, and if you got to go on a bow, watch out for rain flooding, because we're supposed to get up to about 1.5 inches of rain today. Everybody take care and stay safe. 73, everybody. Kilo November 4, Mike Victor Hotel, back to N9TN and the coffee net.
All right, Larry, thank you for participating this morning. We enjoyed it. WE4AWJ, Emmett, do you have anything else for the Sunday morning coffee net? This is N9TN.
No, it's 58 degrees here. It's raining. It's going to rain hard here in a few minutes. But hopefully it won't be too bad. The wind's not blowing too much, 1 or 2 miles an hour so far. Anyway, that's pretty much it with me. We say 73 to everybody. Happy New Year. Everybody at the club meeting. Hope the weather's going to be good for that. Anyway, 73 to everybody, and take care. WE4AWJ back to that.
This is KO4UEU. Ernie would like to check into the Sunday morning coffee net.
All right, Ernie. You're going to have to give me your call one more time. You caught me so off guard, I didn't even have my pen in my hand. KO4E question mark. Go ahead.
Kilo Oscar 4, Uniform Echo Uniform.
All right, perfect. We got you in there, Ernie. All right, this is the Sunday morning coffee net. Going through our closing round, our 7-3 round. Les, do you have anything else for the net? N4 TLB, N9TN.
November 4, Tango Lima Bravo, Les in Johnson City. I did check in last night to the trivia, although I checked in in and out. I hadn't been part of a trivia net before. I was a little timid there, but I listened to all of it. Wished I had been part of it. I believe I could have done okay. So next time around, I will stay for the trivia part. Everybody just have a good rest of the day. Try to stay dry, or watch the weather. Have a good week, a good new year. And I'll say 73. This is November 4, Tango Lima Bravo.
All right, Les, well, thank you very much. And you probably would have beat out Dwayne. Man, Dwayne and Adam were on fire last night. I'm going to have to ask some harder questions. KI4AMD, go ahead, Mac. Do you have anything else for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net?
Well, I'll say that I had no idea there was any kind of meaningful weather happening until some other guys commented on it. So I took a look out my window, and it looks fine out there. It's a little cloudy, but I don't see rain, and I don't see the trees leaning over in the wind. But then I looked at the radar. According to the radar, it ought to be raining here and everywhere. So I don't know. It's just not quite hitting the ground here in Friendship. Barometric pressure is on a pretty steep decline, though, since 2 o'clock this morning. So I guess there's definitely something moving in. Other than that, nothing to add, nothing to comment on. So I'll just say 7-3, and thanks again for running the net, JJ. N9TN, KI4AMD.
All right, thank you, Mac. We appreciate you for checking in and being part of the net this morning. KD4WMX, do you have anything else for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, Ken?
Well, JJ, I just want to say 73 to everybody, and unhook your antennas, because the weather's moving in. They've been calling for it. That's what I'm going to do. After the net, I'm going to unhook my antennas. So my antennas get hit, my radios don't. And I want to thank you for running the net, and Todd for letting us use this repeater for this net and Bristol net until they get their antenna up. Todd's very nice for letting us use his repeater. And everybody have a fantastic week, and I'll say 73 to everybody, and I'll turn it back to 99 Turtles Napping. KD4WMX clear.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, Ken. And while it's on my mind, because a couple of people have already brought it up, next time you see Todd, give him a high five for letting us use the repeater. Make him feel like he is the man, because he is the man when it comes to these repeaters. He does a fabulous job keeping them up. And I talked to him at length yesterday, and we just had a great conversation. Just about everyday stuff. It wasn't anything about ham radio or repeaters or anything. Just had a good conversation. That was great. All right. KD4NT. Dwayne, do you have anything else for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? N9TN.
Well, don't really have a whole bunch to say other than everybody watch this weather. They say it's supposed to be pretty bad this morning. I heard that they were having tornado warnings and so forth, so or watches. Big difference. But anyway, hope everybody has a good rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and take care. 7-3, KD4NT.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Dwayne. And yeah, let's keep an eye on the weather. Thank goodness for the weather machine maker back here behind me. That scares me out of the ham radio room when it goes off. KO4EVC. Marcus, do you have anything additional for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? Go ahead.
Hey, JJ, this is KO4EVC. I'm rechecking on my HT. How copy?
Well, you're about 89.4% into the repeater. Your audio sounds good, my friend. Go ahead.
Roger that. I guess I can trust the guy that can't hear that good. Anyway, I'll say 7-3 to everybody, and stay safe. Watch out for the crazies. I shut down the station. I unplugged everything. Radar looks pretty bad. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm heading to Irwin to go to church or what. So I'm going to get off here and try to figure things out. Everybody have a happy new year, and we'll see you next year, I guess. KO4 EBC, clear. 7-3, everybody.
Alrighty, we appreciate you, Marcus, and be careful if you do go out. Richard, KZ4IT, do you have anything additional for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net?
All right, JJ. Yeah, I'd like to say thanks for doing the net tonight or this morning, and hope everybody has a safe holidays and happy New Year. And hope to see everybody at the club meeting at Bristol. And with that being said, I'll say 7-3 to everybody. This is Kilo Zulu 4 India Tango saying 7-3. Bye.
All right, you have a good day, Richard, and thank you for checking into the net. It's been a long while since I've talked to you. Don't be such a stranger, my friend. KO4GQQ. David, do you have anything else for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? He must have had to slide out of here. Todd, you're next. Do you have anything additionally for the net? KO4RUY. Wrong order. Go ahead, Todd. N910.
Just stay safe and Happy New Year. Kilo Oscar 4 Romeo Uniform Yankee out.
Alrighty. That is good. Call sign always gets me. N4DTB. David, do you have anything additionally for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net? Alright, nothing heard. KO4UEU. Ernie, before you give me your comment and 7-3, I'm going to weird you out right now. So everybody, you know I work at the school. Well, Ernie was the first PTA president of the school when they built the school. So it's funny to know that. I've never met you in person, but sound like a good feller. Well, anyway, do you have anything else for the net, Ernie? Go ahead. N910. All right, that brings us down to the bottom of the list. Right now, before we're done, I'm going to take late check-ins. These late check-ins will be in and outs only, just to see if there's anybody else wishing to check in and get on the roster here. In and out stations only. This is N910. All right, nothing heard. I had 14 check-ins this morning. We'd like to thank everybody that participated in the net. That does it for the 53rd edition of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Remember to join us next Sunday at 7 a.m. In the meantime, refill that cup of joe and enjoy the rest of your day. Be careful out there and be weather-wise ready. The net today was held on the 442.2 repeater that is located on Holston Mountain. I'd like to thank Todd Malone, KE4CCB, for the use of the repeater this morning, and I'll now return the repeater back to normal amateur radio use. I'll say 7-3, and everybody, Happy New Year. 2025 is coming up, even if you're not ready for it. This is N9TN, Boring, Tennessee.